the prophet who stood between two lions. In the days when Jeroboam was king over Israel, God sent a prophet from Judah to the city of Bethel. The king had built an altar there, leading the people into worship that God had not commanded. The prophet arrived while Jeroboam was standing at the altar to burn incense. The prophet spoke with authority, declaring God's message against the altar. He said that one day a new king named Josiah would rise from the line of David and destroy the false worship in that place. As a sign that this message was true, the altar would break apart and its ashes would spill out. When King Jeroboam heard the prophecy, he stretched out his hand and commanded his guards to seize the prophet. But instantly, the king's arm became stiff and withered. He could not pull it back. At that same moment, the altar cracked open and the ashes poured out, just as the prophet had said. Shaken and afraid, the king asked the prophet to pray for him. The prophet prayed, and God restored the king's hand to normal. Grateful and relieved, the king invited the prophet to come home with him to eat and receive a reward. But the prophet refused. He explained that God had given him strict instructions. He was not to eat or drink anything in Bethel, nor return home by the same road he came on. So he left by another path. In Bethel, an old prophet heard about what had happened and hurried to meet the man of God from Judah. When he found him resting under a tree, he invited him to return and share a meal. The man of God repeated God's command, saying he could not eat or drink in that place. But the old prophet lied to him. He claimed that an angel had spoken to him and that it was now acceptable for him to come back and eat. The man of God believed the old prophet's words and returned with him. While they were sitting at the table, God spoke to the old prophet. He announced that because the man of God had disobeyed the Lord's clear command, he would not be buried in his family's tomb. The younger prophet realized the seriousness of his mistake, but the meal was already before him. After he finished eating, he mounted his donkey and began the journey home. As he traveled along the road, a lion met him and killed him. The lion did not eat his body, nor did it harm the donkey. Instead, it simply stood beside the body, while the donkey remained unharmed on the other side. The scene was so strange and unnatural that those who passed by stopped in shock, and the news quickly spread. When the old prophet heard what had happened, he went out immediately, found the body, and saw the lion and the donkey standing just as the witnesses had described. He took the body of the man of God, placed it on the donkey, and brought it back to his own home to mourn and bury him. He laid the man of God in his own tomb and wept over him. He told his sons that when he died, he wanted to be buried beside this man so that he might share in the honor of the word he had spoken. For even though the younger prophet disobeyed God's command, the prophecy he delivered against the altar of Bethel was true and would one day come to pass. And so the story became a lasting reminder to Israel. God's word is certain. God's commands must be obeyed. And even in judgment, God's purpose stands firm.